Hi there, my name is Alana and I'm the Realtor here in Houston. And today I would like to talk about the process of buying the house. Whether you're the first time home buyer or you're planning on moving from another state, this information may be very helpful for you. And I can predict your question where my accent is coming from. Well, I'm Russian. All right, so the first and probably the main step is to find the right realtor, the one who will represent your interest and play on your behalf in the negotiation process. So why do you need a realtor, right? Some people believe they can make a deal with the seller on their own, but let me tell you that not everybody knows that if you're on the buyer's side, the service from a realtor is free. So if you buy a house and the realtor is paid by the seller. So why not hiring the professional who would be able to help you with the entire process if it's free for you? And the realtor is the person who knows the community and he knows the laws and he would be able to negotiate on your behalf and uh, prepare your offer, which is very important. All right, whenever you found the right person who would be representing you on a real estate deal, you would need to decide for yourself what you need. So everybody is different, and the home buying process is very unique because everybody is unique. You may be looking for a big house for your huge family of five with three dogs, five cats, right? Or you can be looking for something smaller somewhere in Midtown. So everybody is different, and what you need to decide for yourself is where you would like to live. Maybe you want to be close to a certain school. You need to decide how many bedrooms and bathrooms you would need. What would be the acreage of your house? Just decide for yourself and ask your realtor to make a search for you. And the realtor will submit your criteria to MLS, and you will be receiving emails from your realtor daily or weekly, depending on how fast you would like to buy your house. I know a lot of people like to do their homework by searching in Zillow or Trulia. These resources are not bad. However, the information is not updated there daily. I do have some clients calling me saying, "Hey, I found a house on Zillow, so why didn't we see this house?" When I check on my resources, this house has been sold like 3 days ago. So the website the realtors use is har.com. It is HAR.com. So this is where you find the most updated information. All right. So finding your ideal home. If it's nice Sunday afternoon, you would definitely want to go to open house to just do the house hunting. Just remember that the person, the realtor you meet in the open house, he does not represent you. He represents the seller. And he would not be able to give you his opinion on this house because it won't be fair for the seller who is represented by this particular realtor. That's why it is very important to have the person who would represent your interests. And please let the realtor in open house know that you are being represented already by another realtor. And this is what the real listing looks like. It may be confusing for the person who does not deal with real estate every day. And your realtor would help you to read this listing and point on important information for you. Financing. It's very important to choose the lender that will get you to the closing table. I know that a lot of people have accounts with Wells Fargo or Chase or other big banks. However, whenever it comes to the obtaining the loan, and when you call to the big bank, first of all, they are not always accessible, and it feels like you're just a number for them. you can imagine how many applicants they have a day, and if you want customized attention and very good customer service, I would recommend going by the smaller lender. Please ask around, ask your realtor whom he or she would recommend, and go for it. Just find the person whom you can trust. Obtaining pre-approval letter. Whenever you find the lender you can trust, the lender would need to give you pre-approval letter. It basically shows that you're willing and able to buy a house. And whenever you're ready, whenever you find the house of your dream, after submitting the offer, the seller won't even look at your offer without pre-approval letter. And very often, the lower offers are accepted if it's accompanied by the pre-approval letter. Submitting the offer. So me as the realtor, is important that your offer would be fair and you would pay the right price for the house. That is why I would do a comparative market analysis on the house you are planning on purchase. What does it mean? I want to make sure that the offer you're submitting will be a fair offer, and that's why I would compare the houses in the same neighborhood which were sold for the last 6 months or so, with the same criteria like square footage, number of rooms, number of bathrooms, and so on and so forth. And this is what we compare. Earnest money. Just be ready. After our offer is accepted, you would need to write the earnest money check. And what is earnest money? Typically, it's 1% of the offering price, and it's kept by the title company, and it won't be cashed until the offer is accepted and signed by both parties. And what happens to this check? Let's say if during the option period, which we'll be discussing later, you decide not to buy this house. So the earnest money are given back to you. If you decide to proceed with the purchase, this money would be going towards your closing cost. All right, option period. After both parties sign the contract, this is when your option period starts. It's usually 7 or 10 days. Basically, you write the check to the seller. It's usually about $150 to $150, and you are buying the right to be able to back off from the contract. If something goes wrong with inspection, you can just say, hey, I don't want this house anymore. And in this case, the option money won't be refunded. However, you're getting your earnest money back. And it's all negotiable. Like I said, it can last from 7 to 10 days, and it can be about $150. It's decided between you and the seller how much you would pay for it. And during the option period, the seller won't be able to sell the house to anybody else, but you can just say no, that you don't want to buy the house, but you would need to pay for it. Home inspection. During your option period, we recommend performing the home inspection. It's usually cost about $300. It can be $400, depends on the size and the age of the house. And the inspector would be looking for major defects. Let's say if the inspector finds something very bad, like a crack in the roof or crack in the foundation, it's up to you whether you want this house or not during the option period. It may not make sense to buy this house with major defects, and that is why we always recommend doing a home inspection, even if it's a new construction. Inspector can find a lot of, even if the house has been built like recently. Very important. So what happens during inspection? After you get your inspector's report, it's usually within a day, you can negotiate the repairs with the seller. Or you can ask money towards the closing, or you can ask some money towards repairs. So it's all done during the option period. You can negotiate your repairs and even decide whether you want this house or not, based on the repair report and the you can also get quotes from contractors like electricians, plumbers, and so on and so forth. All right, and this is what the inspector would look for. Appraisal. After your option period, the bank, the lender, would order appraisal. The cost of home appraisals depends on the property value, location, and size of the property. The cost may vary from $200 to $500, depends on where the house is located and how big the house is. And why is it so important for the bank to obtain appraisal? Since it's the lender who borrows you money, they definitely want to make sure that the house is worth what you are planning on paying for it. If you are planning on selling this house, let's say in 2 years, bank wants to make sure that they won't lose money on this house. And why is it so important to have your house appraised? So the bank will not lend you money for a house without an appraisal. That is why they want to make sure that they're making the right decision in giving you money for this house. So this is our scenario. So after appraisal comes back, it can be lower than the offer price, which unfortunately happens, especially in the hot market when you're trying to bid on the house and offer more money for this particular house. And when the appraisal comes lower, these are your options. You can either back up from the contract and saying that, well, I don't want to buy this house anymore. Or you can try to negotiate the house at the appraisal value. Or the buyer, which is you, can make up the difference between the price value and the price in the contract. Or, which happens more often, the buyer can meet the seller in the middle. Basically, if the appraisal comes lower, let's say you're buying a house for $200,000, but the appraisal came for 180, so you would need to make up the difference. That is why it's so important that this house will be appraised for the price. But if it's not appraised, it's not the end of the world, and these are your options. All right. After the house has been appraised, after the price has been negotiated, this is what you need to know about the closing. So me as a realtor, I would be able to help you with obtaining home warranty, homeowners insurance, moving companies, and so on and so forth. The realtors are very connected people, and we can recommend you contractors and other specialists. So what is the home warranty, and why is it so important to get one? Uh, Even the seller, we can negotiate with the seller that the seller will be the one who would obtain the home warranty for you. And what the home warranty does is protecting you from unplanned expenses when you don't know how to reliable your appliances will be. So let's say if you're buying an older house and it's in the seller's interest to sell this house to you and give you the warranty by showing that it's worth what you're paying for it. And the warranty package is usually bought for 1 year, and you usually pay deductible if something happens and you pay, let's say, $60 to fix something. The whole warranty itself may cost about $450, $500, $550. And after a year, if you like to keep your warranty, you can purchase it for another year. All right, so at the closing, you get your keys and you're ready to move in. and you're getting a cute present from your realtor. If you have any questions, please give me a call or email me. The contact information is below, or you can make a comment below this video. If you like this video, please press like, share this video. It will show me that you are interested in what we are doing. Thank you very much.